It's going to be an A-side hit being planned now by the Germans. The question is, what's the defense going to be looking like? Liaz and Inns coming through in Donut will be waiting for this commitment to come forward. There's two smokes and a Molotov, one of which has already been used. Rigon comes in from behind, looking to open up, but his head's been open. Liaz makes a statement in his opening duel. JDC, however, both him and Tabson will combine to take down any further resistance. FlyQuest with a numbers advantage, but Big with the bomb down.
As soon as you got those two kills from Liaz, you thought that might have just been enough to actually just concede the site, but with Inns losing his life, even with the numbers disadvantage, you had to rely on something different. Crimbo with these dualies inside of the site. They run past the smoke and they run right into Crimbo's dualies. These two kills have been massive, and Alistair now quaking round that corner, doesn't have the armor to trade, and so Crimbo can clutch. The big man that always steps up in those critical moments. It's Crimbo that delivers in the pistol. Might be the most lethal we've seen Searson in many events as well. The type of plays he goes for, the confidence he's exuded this tournament. Alistair has had that much the same himself, but I think there's been, I mean, the microscope weirdly has actually been very focused on both these AWPers.
Yeah.
So the fact that they've been doing well at this tournament is a great sign for either squad.
And it's for different reasons, right? As we watch out for Tabson, who's been taken down. Crimbo is getting plenty of chances to heat up, and he does end up being felled. And with that, FlyQuest, some great damage being dealt. I don't know if Dexter will have a chance to really save this. There is a Mac 10 of Rigon that's running right after him, but even $600 more being added to the tally. This is fantastic for him.
I mean, just even from the perspective of Big and saving the amount of players as they can. I mean, JDC has to be worried about even dying to the bomb at this type of HP. And even with the flash, he will fall. That's an AK into Dexter's possession. Big lose everybody, but they do convert on this secondary round.
Alistair's holding a very strong angle, and an early smoke will reveal it, but they're moving past it. Rigon hoping to break in, but the flash from his teammate blinds him as well. Alistair not feeling too good about it, but he'll still perform. Make it 3! And while Searson searches to find his ceiling, Alistair is breaking through the roof.
Fantastic work there from Alistair. It looks shaky. I mean, he got his Molotov down in time, the support flash catching him as well, and still he's able to manage out a triple.
While Big will be featuring only a Deagle in this round, it's all about the easy cleanup. Let's not forget, Big lost this many, 4, 5, all of them, players as well, up against a buy not too different from this. That's where Alistair has to be careful. He continues to challenge, and he's going to be punished for it. Crimbo's really coming into this with the sharpness of a well-honed blade.
And exactly what you wanted to see out of this particular map. If there was going to be someone to step up, Crimbo had a great performance against Tor earlier on as well. And a big reason as to why they took that map away from the Portuguese, but even with all of his kills, it doesn't result in much more than some damage to that CT economy. You knew it was within their ranks the whole time.
Alistair, again, continuing to find success. But it's Dexter who's called to order. Quick kill found, and there's still 2 more to find. But it's Rigon who has to be careful. The flash goes too deep, but the contest from Vexite is measured. He isn't overcommitting. Rigon pushes forward, and Dexter's right there to receive. Every single one of the FlyQuest players feel like they're completely on the game.
I mean, they're all on the right side of the map, too. I mean, Big have done nothing but cluster themselves up for these site attacks. Even in the early control so far, FlyQuest are reading into this more pack-based play that Big are trying to implement on the start of this T side, and it is working wonders. Even with Vexite sort of not clearing that close ramp angle, you needed Rigon to get that opening kill, but it's a current dry spell for both Searson and Rigon. Big will, I think, be forced to save in this circumstance. And so, you know, when you find yourself at getting that opening round, the second as well, can Big actually mentally reset when they get themselves into guns? Can we get Searson and get Rigon to find some kills? Even with the hero AK, Searson just gets annihilated by Dexter, and he wasn't done just yet. He just keeps on laying the hurt on these two players yet to find a frag.
His form was never questioned. Dexter's ability to shoot heads, be it on Greyhound, on Mousesports, or on FlyQuest, has been very clear-cut. And right now, Alistair, who lies in wait, the flash will force him off, but he's not lost his life for it. 2 of those AKs still taken forward, but what will Big find with it? Look at the money on the CT side. It is truly starting to rack up, and another one of these clean rounds is going to be maybe a bit too much. Big need to figure something out. just in case you've forgotten, because maybe you were watching, oh, hold it. Don't forget JDC, never forget JDC. One of the top performers of the tournament so far. If there's anyone to deal damage at the end of the round, I would believe in him. But it's a difficult angle to fight. Dexter will stay alive, only taking a bullet and finding 3 kills in the round. Right, you have 2 players in Donut right now from FlyQuest. They start to rotate backwards. They've still not actually been mid-aggression. They've largely neglected that and prioritized the double Donut setup multiple times over. But look at how defensive they're playing right now. That's a sign of a team that wants to conserve utility and thinks that if you're going to be peeking into them, we'll hit those shots. And they have good reason to believe that, because that's exactly what they've been doing.
Everywhere they seem to go, they are finding this Alistair ult, but they're being given the business end of it. Fantastic work so far. And there needs to be some kind of counteraction in from Big. The instant dink onto Dexter as he was about to transition into Cave. This is awkward timing now. And with Inz at least getting the trade immediate, things could have gone from bad to worse, but FlyQuest keep it contained.
Still a chance over here with the smoke down for Big to climb onto the site. The grenade is fantastic. It keeps Inz honest, but even as an honest man, he's still very lethal. No, Crimbo finds him spraying in through the smoke, and that means that the bomb can be planted. You want to start pushing forward. It's Alistair now with the AK. Even the spam looking like it could have connected. Surson needs to break that egg and do it fast. Liaz, though, is the one who's making omelets back in Cave, and Surson all alone, nothing to do. He's found 7, but not 7 kills. It's 7 deaths.
It was just a slow approach there from FlyQuest. They were slowly strangling this big site B, and even with the smokes that were down, they knew that they had that numbers advantage that they could play off of. It is a little fortunate for Crimbo that he is able to connect on that spam, but there were many other ways back into the round there for FlyQuest.
My goodness, look.
You see the counter reaction from FlyQuest. Even with them losing cave control, they are getting information towards that B side. They know that ledge and middle have been occupied, and Liaz is still trying to cause some interference while this information is being relayed over, but Big are taking that space round the smoke.
Now, they won't have any flashes to force Liaz off, but this is still going to be a lot of angles. A smoke down, and it's going to be a little late. Doesn't matter. Liaz maintains the spray, and as Inz is waiting, Liaz is just 1 away from the ace. Steal it from him, it doesn't matter, because the number that matters is the 7 that FlyQuest are going to find unless Raygon pulls out the round of his life. I don't think his life is going to be featuring this one, not yet. Starts off with at least a little bit of damage, but there's nowhere to really go. You're being enclosed on from all sides. FlyQuest finds 7.
And the perfect read, and it's all based off of that play in through B. They cleared out the outer side of B through the smoke, then they get that smoke down towards the red room, and Liaz is in a great position to punish Big trying to play ahead of that piece of utility. Yeah, his numbers will be low, but he's always another threat that Big will have to consider, even if they get close to a site.
Turns around, he's got 1, he's got 2, punished, yes, but Raygon will fall. Liaz, head on a swivel. And Raygon's head is on the ground. Vexite now pushes forward, finds it while blind, they cannot miss.
Fortune favoring the bold. FlyQuest take that mid control where it was seated before. Big get caught off, and still these shots are being hit, but it is Crimbo that is left, but it's his head offered up just around the corner. Went for a plant position that was audacious, and Dexter denies. It is an 8th round straight by FlyQuest.
And is that a little bit of cheering I hear from you, Atlanta? Feeling good about FlyQuest right now? I love what Vexite's been doing as well, by the way, because this isn't what I attribute to him, but maybe more on that later on. Dexter's back to Red Room, and this is where Liaz was the one to find success before. Maybe Dexter can do the same, feeling confident in the recontest, but Big are terrified, and for good reason.
They just cannot win a fight.
They just run. All right, Dexter's coming. Better run away. Maybe it's Liaz. Now they know, and now he's down, but that doesn't mean they've got full control over this B bomb site, which is their final destination. Surson, having showcased that he's moving back, might not be expected here, but he's certainly going to be checked for Inz. Not going to watch out. In fact, no, Inz is gone, and Liaz could pick up the pace, but the problem is the B side itself, where Crimbo's found Vexite. Still one to deal with. It's Alistair, and as hot of a hand as he's had, it's not going to be an easy opportunity to strike. Raygon's chase past as well, so while this fight goes on, he should be able to get one more. Target selection is fantastic. Liaz has found Raygon. The bomb is down, and now it's a 1-on-1. run. Surson might have broken his egg, but he's not got time to do the rest. He can't get to the bomb, and Alistair only needs to stay alive. The clock is running out. They cannot win.
No matter what they do, no matter how big the advantage, this a 2-on-4. They were trapped. They knew exactly where at least one of these remaining FlyQuest members was. Liaz was pinned, and Alistair is able to sneak the site, and he reads that they don't want to peek him individually. They want to see if they can flank him from an unexpected position, but Alistair reading and hitting everything.
Big just can't catch a break, and right now all they're catching is hands, and Nextside's the one delivering them. Maybe more to come as he wants to push forward. Another kill found. JDC on the ground, and Surson and Crimbo are now left spinning their heads in a turn. It's all going pear-shaped.
And there is only one man that stands left. Crimbo a 1-on-5, but this game so far has been FlyQuest through and through. It's 10-2 for the Aussies at the half.
Big have found themselves face to face with an unlikely Grim Reaper, one that wears flip-flops and shorts, but that doesn't make it any less lethal. FlyQuest up 10-2 at the turn of the half. Now look to close on Big's map pick. Crimbo and his dualies might be the only chance, because that's what it's felt like so far.
That's the only round that they can really attribute so far is Crimbo with those dualies, and Alistair playing close to that gap inside of Donut, but Searson there to rectify any lost ground. Crimbo does get his, but it's Searson that comes in with these 2 critical kills that stops this A-side assault. Dexter, last man standing, but far from out of the round. Doesn't have armor, but is able to find the first. Two more players around the corner, and Crimbo will put him to rest. It is a second pistol won by Big here on Ancient. Big Soul game. It's not like they had a massive CT side. It was actually on their T side that they did the most work. So for them to have been shut down so effectively on that side of the map, they are going to have to express and show a new level, as well as that ability to reset. But it's Crimbo against Ecos, and he will have every single one. The only consistent piece so far from Big just keeps on shooting well. Somehow, Crimbo needs to channel his success into his teammates as well. CT side, very much a team effort, but Rigon is dealt with. Spam through a smoke, and Tabson will try a desperate move, and he'll succeed. The flash play didn't really catch effect site fully, but around that smoke and the hypermobility of the SMG will. Still is a lot of pressure being applied over towards B lane. It's not as though FlyQuest can make any reads off of this decision. It's just ceded territory that they'll have to threaten later on. Now they know that there should be some pressure applied back into this site. That's why Inns was holding position for so damn long. But there's Crimbo, another critical kill. JDC the flank, it will catch out Alistair. Bomb spotted as well. He'll double up onto Liaz. All the same, FlyQuest, they stayed static. They stayed stoic. They waited for Big to make a mistake by rotating away, but those kills are just so damn crucial. And it's from the people that you would typically expect from Big. In their turbulence, it was always JDC, Crimbo that came in. Even with Raygon dying at the very start of the round, Big had reactions.
I mean, Alistair and Inns were watching for those exact peaks, right? But Big, we have to remember, no matter what happens, this is an incredibly skilled lineup. This is, without a doubt, the most skilled lineup that the German team might have ever put together.
That's going to allow Big to actually cheat an extra rotate over.
They're going to have to go through the smoke over here, but maybe Dexter wants to take that first play because he's going in from cave, and that's where it is just a straight duel. Molotov start to come forward. The execute is here, and as Surson moves past it, flashbang number 1 will not last long enough. Rigon on the side lines them up, and Alistair's hope dwindles. He turns back. It's time to save. And FlyQuest, they'll get a parting gift, sure, but at the end of the day, Big have found 7. FlyQuest will not have money. This is getting scary.
Yeah, I mean, having that extra reinforcements on the B bomb site definitely coming to the aid of these B defenders. Tabson, good timing on the smoke. And they weren't clearing for Rigon in particular.
And I know I said in the beginning that Alistair's good form always means that Inns has a time to warm up and show off his skills by the end of the map, almost no matter what it feels like. But right now, it's getting to the point where you need him. Alistair will continue to be proactive. He will continue to look and hunt. And look, there might be a kill found, but Rigon's not peeking without a flashbang. Crimbo perfectly assisted, and Vexite now looks to recover an AWP from the ground, which he will, but will he find anything with it? Aggression from Rigon might make this a quick turnaround. Liaz had a chance, but does end up finishing the kill. Does he expect the second? Yes, he does. Crimbo's earlier flash reveals intentions. But all in the meanwhile, they've lost their leader, and Surson has lost what Inns is up to.
That could be a weird timing here. They're starting to switch responsibilities, but the AK of Crimbo will connect. Searson may have even realized that that was a possibility, and being up close like that may not have been conducive to getting the kill. Crimbo even continuing that pressure, but he goes maybe a step too far. That's a rifle that is then now taken away. But inside of A main does JDC sit, and this is completely unexpected. Vexite may turn, but yeah, needed to find a kill somehow onto JDC, but John DeCastro don't make mistakes like that. It is adaptations, and to be honest, it's again this just nice sharp shooting as well on sometimes immediate reactions or instinct, good flash timing, and this time they try and crunch towards middle, but Big stand tall.
That was it. This was the round. This was the round which Big are relying on to make this even. And not a single player lost so far, and I don't think that'll change. They know where Alistair is. John DeCastro in front of him, and boy, has he been dangerous in this second half. FlyQuest surrounded on all sides, losing the early duels, losing the late duels, losing every duel, losing every round in this half.
And it seems very reminiscent of how that first half played out, but the nameplates were on the other side of the server.
Shooter's gotta shoot.
Yeah, and I think as well, Big are doing a really good job of enabling all these plays with flashbangs, but even with them getting out towards middle, Inns is felled by the Searson AWP, and while Searson takes a dink right back, he is still alive and kicking, still fighting with this AWP up close and personal, but there's Crimbo to provide a bit more personnel inside of Donut.
Alistair's been given space to create a little hobbit hole for himself, but Rigon is very much waiting now. The bomb has access to B. Never forget that. Tabson has pushed all the way forward, and right now, FlyQuest, the problem is they don't really care about the money. So Alistair, he's hoping to find a timing, and he has! But he won't find the kill! Alistair's been having a hot hand all game long, but maybe this is where it will fail him. Dexter and Liaz without any guns to recover, without any ground to gain. Dexter will peek out, but there's three players. He lines them up, finds two, and Liaz now flanked by Thompson. Gets it done. JDC is low. Liaz takes it away. The 2 versus 4.
How have they managed it again? This time it's Dexter and Liaz, previously Alistair, but this is a round where they come in with pistols. I thought Dexter would get overwhelmed, swarm, but they line up for that Tech 9 at distance. And no buy is safe, no buy is sacred. They know that these are the types of rounds they cannot afford to lose when they just had so much success already on this defense. They fall to pistols.
Can Big stabilize? Can Big make sure that they're still fighting back? The incendiary is well timed, and FlyQuest will respect it, but it's Alistair who has the pressure on him. He's missed again, and now the repeat forward, the shadow spotted. He's feeling the nerfs, but maybe Crimbo is as well. A labored spray in with a USP out. It's Surson a trade. JDC down, Surson still alive, and it's a flashbang to delay, but these players have the ability to back off if they want to. FlyQuest have that space in the map.
It's not as though Rigon has teammates that are coming or are en route. Sure, Tabson will start to make his move. A smoke down. Rigon blows open, and they peek late off of it. Dexter finding that entry and taking control of B. Tabson does skirt on by that initial sightline, but he challenges back into the AWP of Alistair, and this time he will not miss. Searson would do well to save his AWP, but they will be able to afford a buy in that following round, and they know that they need every single piece of the puzzle. Yeah, Searson maybe hung around a little too long to maybe guarantee that exit, but it's not as though FlyQuest are going to let him save this for free.
Interesting pathing coming out from Dexter, and Surson might end up leaning into it. This is a critical shot to hit. If he lands it, then he lives. And it feels like that will be the verdict, but the verdict for Big Clan, I mean, Crimbo, unfortunately, he's had an incredible game, but it felt like he was set up for 2 over there, and unfortunately just couldn't get the first cleanly enough. FlyQuest, again.
Dexter, yeah, as a lurker in this type of instance, but the versatility to close the round. 3 rounds straight now needed here from Big. This game has been streaky, but FlyQuest, maybe they've unlocked that extra layer that they need to convert. Liaz able to get 1 inside of middle, but it's a back and forth trade, one that Big will come out the better end of. And now that those smokes are down, once again, FlyQuest pump the brakes and maybe start to explore other areas of the map. Vexite probing in from ramp, and Rigon re-challenging in a one-on-one. There's still another player close enough by, but Tapson will not want to take that duel head first.
Vexite's so snappy right now. And for Big Clan, you can bring the home crowd to America, but you can't make them shoot for you. JDC is going to have to do that himself. Surson's still far off. And FlyQuest, they're making Big think. They're making Big sweat. They don't know where the destination is going to be. Alistair watches out, waits for any sort of aggression from Big. And as there's a Molotov on the side of JDC, as Alistair continues to be outpost, it's the bomb plant that might be the key to start moving out. But Alistair is planted safe. And he knows where they're coming from, but knowledge is not power, not right now. Vexite needs a full quad if he wants to win it. And being smoked off isn't a great start to this one. Bomb spotted in for the spam, but he doesn't have the lineup right now. Now he will, but he just can't get it done. JDC's sticking. He's low. Vexite won't get it. And Big will win the round by the skin of their teeth. They survive.
JDC got hit in the head through that spam as well. 1 more bullet out from Vexite, and he may have got himself into a position where he can win.
Alistair wants to challenge Rigon, but he's been flashed off before Vexite's lost, but that's where Alistair can at the very least trade. Still, Big aren't too unhappy about this. You also don't have any more utility to cordon off these players. You need to take the duels with flashes.
But there's no urgency from Big. It's still these 2 side defenders.
It's JDC taken down, and that's why you needed urgency. FlyQuest might be low, but now Surson has to complete a 2 versus 4. Plenty being taken by the Aussie side, and you're seeing them re-peek in. An op shot miss, and 1 is too many. Crimbo's been the man of the hour, but his time might be up.
They're so damn low. 1 bullet onto Dexter or Alistair, and this round could be done. It has to be Inns that serves as the man set up to succeed and trade out this player, but he's Molotov out of position. He has to go so far back inside of the site, but Crimbo just simply does not have the position nor the util to make this uncomfortable here for FlyQuest. Inns will swing, and so these 2 low health members will have to get it done, but there is simply not enough time anymore. Crimbo will get every single kill, but FlyQuest will close on Ancient.
Big picked into this one, but it won't matter. FlyQuest come out, they have their hiccups, they have their shakeups, but it looked like they were the better team through and through. Never a question about it. We'll be hoping and praying that he doesn't wake up.
Yeah, I mean, there was very slow starts as well from Searson and Rigon throughout that entire Ancient, so you're really having to put your attention on them. FlyQuest already missing some util just as they're setting up for an A-side assault. It's gone off of the map, and Rigon will be happy to capitalize.
He's going to break first blood for himself very early on, not like Ancient at all, but FlyQuest as well. A small mistake will not be making them crumble, at least let's hope not.
Yeah, well, not exactly a small mistake. They needed that smoke to actually bridge the gap between the ramp and the site, so a pretty costly one here for FlyQuest, and it is only getting worse. Rigon starting to feel himself at the start of this Vertigo. Some nice clean headshots in the pistol.
It's isolated players right now, Dexter and Inns, who want to make something happen, but Dexter only has 1 to deal with. Crimbo's gone, and Surson as well. Back to a 2-on-2. FlyQuest have already won 2 versus 4s. Could this be number 3? With time, they have a chance to rotate as well.
That would have been a talk from Big during that little break between the maps about how on earth do they keep on losing these rounds, and thankfully Rigon is having a round himself, but it is not without its threat still. They are heavily separated here on the side of Big, and so Dexter, if he finds this isolated fight, he could get another 1v1. It's all on timing here for tabseN. Does Dexter even believe it? tabseN missing his first few, so he gave Dexter a shot, but no problems here for Big. They do close the pistol. And that lurk smoke thrown by FlyQuest will segment the defense here from Big. Up close is seres:sn, and they're overwhelmed. Both seres:sn and Rigon dealt with, but nearby is tabseN to alleviate that strain. They are still down that extra man, but Big keep a handle on that ramp aggression.
Dexter serves up the flash for 2. He's one of the ones at the dining table, happy to find the kill regardless. And now, as they've rotated back to the B bomb site, Crimbo, the man of the previous hour, is hoping that his time will come one more time as well. Now it's going to be a difficult spot when he can't get the first kill. Vexite brought low, but not brought down.
Yeah, tragic story for Crimbo coming out of that first map. 32 kills and a loss.
Really nice big advantages that FlyQuest do have as we go into Vertigo, Michael, is that FlyQuest, A, came through the group stage winning both their best of ones. They haven't shown that much material, but B, also FlyQuest is the kind of team that doesn't really play that many events outside of the big LANs and the big international tournaments that they're in, right? So you don't have any footage on this Vertical. So they are in a unique position where they're going to ideally come in with a lot of these small micro plays like what we just saw on ramp.
Able to get that away from a retrievable position as well, so no chances of holding on to that. Big losing another member in Rigon at A, and so they've lost 2 members on different portions of the map. This may be another position where Rigon losing out so quickly on A, Big could look to cluster themselves up in a 3-on-5 and maybe have a quick out for a save, but no, Crimbo stood his ground on B, and so he'll lose his life. But there's no immediate decision here, and right now the 2 remaining players for Big are postured on this A bomb site. That's a duel you have to win though if you wanted a way back into the round. JDC flubbing his lines, leaving tabseN alone. And now as well, it's been relayed that B has been silent for far too long for this bomb not to make its way over.
And while we have the time, as tabseN looks to try and save, FlyQuest look to try and hunt, would be a good time to also remember that for FlyQuest, right now they have a chance to do what no Australian team has done since 2017. Win an international trophy.
Yeah, to think it was that long ago.
5 players kept alive as they look towards that aspiration. FlyQuest will equalize and hopefully extend.
And you see tabseN poking and probing towards short. Flash through the smoke. They actually move to try and take some ramp control. But Rigon is able to dispel that rather swiftly.
Vexite knows that tabseN should be nearby, but instead he's taken the first duel. tabseN still yet to reveal. And with the smoke already there, Vexite has a path of retreat himself, but he doesn't want to retreat. He wants to push through the smoke.
And that will increase the longevity that Vexite can provide. Full execute being lined up towards this A bomb site, but seres:sn is on the line with the orb.
Time's running down low. Alistair's going to have a straight head-to-head. It's one that he won a couple of times over in Ancient, but now maybe the AK might be better suited for this position. seres:sn missed his shot. tabseN accelerates forward, but now he knows he's caught between angles. Needs to trust seres:sn. Will do so finally, but can't find Vexite. The time, though, running low. Alistair's going to be the man to make a move. Goes in, gets the frag, but time, again, is always the enemy. Both players with barely a limb to stand on. Crimbo and tabseN, as the bomb is planted, will take it down with utility. Big. Stay relevant.
Yeah, and being able to have, again, this extra man that's rotated in, even with them losing out on Rigon on that A bomb site, as soon as they started to see the posturing from FlyQuest, the utility that was starting to send out.
But Crimbo also has to be concerned. There's boosts across the map, and Alistair's the one who's break blood.
seres:sn could get caught. I mean, they mantle this box inside of middle as well. The U-tilt down. He's expecting Dexter to round this corner, but it's about who actually takes that fight first. But it's from that high ground. The instant flick there from seres:sn. Dexter still controlling this middle portion of the map, but they can still rotate through spawn. It may not matter. JDC gunned down, and tabseN as well caught and rotating to defend this site. It's a 1-on-4 here for Rigon, but round the smoke, he'll get his one. He just simply cannot retreat. FlyQuest a staggered execute on B, but they do so with great success.
tabseN's been tagged down low as well. He's been so important at being able to maintain a what? Rigon jump spots there. Alistair's been on a heater this entire series, and right now he might have even spotted out the player on the cross. He has! tabseN Night-night.
Alistair is exactly the Reaper that FlyQuest needed. And it only shows when you are nearing your end. Big is still, this map is still so early, but Alistair just keeps on taking them down. You are not getting past the AWP of FlyQuest, the AWP of the Aussies.
There may have been doubts about the Mustache Maestro coming into this tournament, but they have been assuaged. Big right now. The only doubts are about themselves on the server. Crimbo, 1 and 4, and sure, he's going to find consolation, but frankly, he needs to find form.
Alistair wanted to complete it. He wanted every single kill. They waited the plant. They want this gun out of Crimbo's hands. They gave Alistair his first swing at it. But you can see the pack is closely approaching. Crimbo has to do well to dispel these ensuing T's, but he's getting crunched from all sides. They just completely vacated the site to take out this M4. And Alistair just showing exactly what he can get done, lightning quick on the jump spot, as Rigon just wanted to gather some information for the rest of the squad, but he never missed out on small bits of info. I mean, wow. I don't even see what he is shooting at. But they are finding their finishes. They've built up cash as well. They have a healthy buffer. Even if Big start to answer back, things could still be ascertained in following moments. It's a nice set of trades out from Big towards ramp, even with the limited weaponry coming out even keel, and chances as well to recover those weapons later on, given that FlyQuest have not continued to assault the A-bomb side.
And look, it does feel like Big need to start being able to disrupt the flow of FlyQuest. This would be the round to do it in, but it's so hard to fight back. Rigon does do just that, and with Crimbo behind the generator, he will be expected. Don't make any mistakes about it, but maybe there's still a push to be found. Remember, Alistair has to cover off while the bomb is being planted. A Molotov is ready. If he can deploy it behind the generator, that does at least help. But it feels like Big might be favored in this situation. It should be a 2 versus 1 the second the bomb is tapped, and they're thinking about pushing. They do so. They switch one and the other, but it will not matter. Both the FlyQuest players will get the kill. Michael, they might make a meal of it, but they get it down anyway. Crimbo's not waiting around. In the meanwhile, Alistair and Surson will trade out shots, but Crimbo's not waiting. He immediately gets information in the middle. The problem is that that information is flawed. And now he has half of the map, it feels like, to cover up. That's why Tabson's rotated over. Great kill from Surson. Putting down Dexter is critical, but Vexite's looking to respond, and Rigon turns away. He got worried for a second, but still stabilizes.
Weirdly, that little indecision from Rigon actually might have saved his life. I mean, Vexite was very honed in on that angle.
Now starts lining up Molotovs, and Rigon could have the perfect timing to peek. He was last seen in lane, but now head spotted, head removed, and another head up for grabs. Rigon will pick it up. He has been the one stable component for Big Clan in this map so far, and he might be able to deliver another round to their shoulders.
Is this the conversation we're going to have with Big? One player showing up where others are absent. It is Rigon that finds 4 in this round.
And if there's one thing Big haven't been doing, it is aggression. Beyond when they have MP9s or anything like it, Alistair, a chance, a rare miss, at least in this finals, it feels like. JDC chases past, clears it out, taking a risk, but Surson's done the same, and Surson's has not panned out. Crimbo, in the meanwhile, a position he's taken up before. He was forced off of it. What? And now with the damage, Inns will not get the kill. Oh, he spots him. He spots him. He rounds the corner, but JDC is the one to save the day. Even so, the day is long, and Rigon is the only one who can stop this sun from setting. 30 seconds and his head's on the ground.
He needed a kill. He needed it desperately, but JDC is coming with 2, and they cannot allow that plant. Crimbo is so damn low. He switched out to that AWP, but JDC looking to deliver the goods. It's 4 from him. And Vexite cold to clutch. But while the high is covered, the low is also occupied. Big will find 5 as they look to answer back on this Vertigo. The grand finals on the line for the Germans. If those are the two monsters rising out of Big, there was another rumbling. JDC as well coming in with a very important round, and he starts off this pistol with an immediate kill. tabseN combining, but there's Liaz at least to keep things somewhat tempered. There is no immediate pounce from Big off of those kills.
Liaz was a contributor to a lot of those early opening frags on the T side before going quiet in the latter part of the first half. FlyQuest are hoping that he can continue to provide a few crucial rounds over here. They have, of course, been a lot more reliant on the Mustache Maestro. Alistair looking good, but the flash means Liaz isn't looking anywhere. JDC continues to find success. A second entry onto the bomb site means that this round is basically gone unless Alistair has something cooking.
Could be Vexite here on this flank, but timing is poor. He starts clearing his close angles just as he gets peeked from the stairs, so now onus may actually fall on Alistair to perform. Vexite is taking so much attention, 2 players at his disposal, but there are 2 more that are looking directly at Alistair, and JDC with that deep position may have just secured this round entirely there for Big Clan, and it is all courtesy of those fantastic entries and then the coupling flashes on B as well. Once upon a time, maybe not thought of as a star-level player on Mouse. And then he goes down a rung, plays in the tier 2, starts to find his confidence, his form, and he has become a different kind of beast. It's a one-on-one fight there with seres:in on A with an SMG, and that's never that fun. JDC holding on to the other extremity, and given that seres:in was pretty uncontested, it is a pretty stable path for this bomb to transition back into that A bomb site. Even with it going a little bit of a curious route, tabseN had it as he was the middleman in this round.
tabseN is good at recognizing, okay, Raygon's doing well, okay, JDC feels like he's going to start up being on a heater. If there's one guy who I trust to be able to use his players according to their form, it might be tabseN, but right now, a form that is unquestionable is Alistair. Loses the Galil, and that will be a piece that they would have liked to have in the next round. Big have been called the gatekeepers of Tier 1 for so long, but maybe they're the ones ready to step through the gate and leave it behind. Vexite, though, doesn't want to let that happen. Dexter, nearby, nade sent forward, 4 versus 4. He's feeling a little bit lonely on the A side, so he's asked for a bit more company to come over in the form of Alistair, who's got the op trained.
Could come down to timing. A very familiar setup. Big running this themselves and stopping FlyQuest from getting much space on that first half. Dexter has to find the right time to swing. It could still be held out for by a number of players to Big, but as soon as they cross to the sandbags as well, his position is vulnerable, and this is maybe the problem tabseN dealt with, and Dexter doubling up from the catwalk. A hard angle to clear, but it's none of the other site defenders that actually have a sightline to support. So Dexter gets his 2, and Big are chewed down to 2 themselves.
seres:in and Crimbo, the quiet members of the team, now need to step up and find their voice and their aim. seres:in contests, but Alistair on the other side, HP or not, will not let it go. Crimbo all alone, 35 seconds on the clock, needs to plant the bomb, and frankly, FlyQuest can just back off and not even take the contest if they don't want to. Inns will do so and find the kill. Feels like FlyQuest can't even forecast how Alistair's gonna get his kills. He's been given the leash to do what he wants and a supporter on his side, which is the big difference. It's extra resources, and he's making good use of them. But Vexite, a terror on the A ramp on the T side. Can he do the same here now that it's his time to defend? Deterred by a smoke, and a Molotov will be preventing aggression, but Dexter's the one to present it instead. Raygon trying to hold off, and he's just taking more damage on the spam. They're switching and they're swapping, but Raygon will be dropping Vexite down. Finally, but still not an advantage. Dexter will replace Vexite. That position now held. Raygon low, but Dexter still not fully challenging. He might be caught off. Raygon coming in. He'll get the backstab. Fantastic stuff, but Inns will trade, and tabseN still has not been relevant to the game. It's 5 and 10. He needs 3 more. Otherwise, Big will find themselves without money. He's found the first. But time is ticking down, and the bomb is on the ground. A missed shot from Alistair gives tabseN a chance. One that he simply cannot take. He's missing it all, but finally compensates. Liaz on the other side, now hiding away. Time is his only friend, and he peeks out, gets it done. Thompson will not save Big Clan. And listen, anyone who's been in a Face It game knows that sometimes your fate depends on Deagles and Tech9s, and now certainly seems like it. Liaz turns and Liaz should fall, but no, he'll have Vexite to cover. In's on his side. The president will be protected. Thompson responds, and he's done so with 3. A missed shot means that he could look for a rifle. Mal recovers. Is it an ace in the cards? No, it cannot be.
It's just a trio of headshots from that P250. Thompson heating up himself as the in-game leader.
1v5 is just asking too much, like you said, but Alistair again going for that same aggressive peek, hoping to find someone, and this is a boost that Big tried themselves, but watch out, Alistair peeking once again, but it's a crucial miss, and this time there's not any company. They should be able to get the bomb plant down on the B bomb site, and Liaz is still forcing them off from getting any more ground. They're waiting on the Aussie side for a faster retake, and that certainly seems to be in the cards. A flash from Vexite will be what spurs them on, and JDC's found 1. The Castro makes it 2, and Surson will topple the 3rd.
And they were waiting. They were happy to wait these smokes out. They had 1 more that they could deploy to secure the plant, just waiting for FlyQuest to make their move through the smoke. They were stalled by a constant stream of flashes by the Aussies, and they knew that at a certain point they would actually try to go with it and still threaten with some weaponry at the very least. Armor alongside it as well. Util that can stall or facilitate, but Crimbo went out middle and no one considered it. Not so quick. Not when Big have been playing this slower style of game.
I love the call. Crimbo's been given so much free real estate in mid. Big know that when you're using utility like that, if there's anyone in lane like Dexter was, the information will cause a very fast rotate. That's one of the advantages the CT side have now in Vertigo. Remember, elevator being opened up means the rotate is lightning fast, and Crimbo's been here to punish that rotate not once, not twice, but 3 whole times.
Well, they started this half at a deficit. Inz is still on an SMG, and Alistair already tagged down so low. The AWP of Searson still probing in towards ramp, but Thompson has at least answered back onto the opposing in-game leader in at ramp.
They've been expecting Vexite to be back in lane. That's why you can see Searson just hard scoping forward. But even if they don't find Vexite, they've found a guaranteed stop to the rotate. So you really do rely on the young Aussie rifler to be able to find a frag, and he just can't. Thompson. Now that hot hand is finally coming into play, and FlyQuest will fly away. Searson has to be careful. Doesn't want to give them a reason to want to go for this retake.
Still, it's the bravery of Searson that I think enables so much of the space taken towards this A-bomb site. Something that Big were critically missing in the first map in this series. They had no one confident enough.
But it did feel like you had your chances to look to close here and now, and this will still be one of those chances to extend play. Alistair finds success the only way FlyQuest have so far, with an opening kill and a retreat without losing any HP. So if you're going back towards B, you're probing, and Searson can get the kill on Liaz. Maybe there's a lot to do, but Liaz is watching out for what could be the one threat, the one plan that Big is going in for. You said they're missing the audio cues. The audio cues are being exchanged, and now they're just hoping beyond hope that Liaz has abandoned his position. Crimbo expected, but there can't be anything done about him. Kills are traded, but Inz is hidden. There isn't a Molotov, there isn't utility, and there isn't a reason for him not to peek. FlyQuest will make sure it goes the distance.
That might be the first round here on this T side where Big looked confused about what their next step was going to be. Some indecision bouncing between the lower side of A and B. And is it all predicated on getting that man advantage here for FlyQuest? Can they make it work in a 5-on-5 where they give so much space over to Big?
Nades exchange, utility is great! Rigon's feeling weak in the knees, and JDC's feeling weak in the grave. tabseN, though, accelerates forward. This catwalk was made for him, and as he sashays forward, Inns will take him out of this rampway. The fashion show is over, Big Clan. FlyQuest will take us to our first overtime here at ESL Challenger Atlanta. Heavy utility reaction, something you might even credit to the German team themselves once upon a time. And Alistair, well, he's not stopping. He's not stopping.
And that second flash was just a little mistimed, caught a glimpse of JDC. It's more than enough. And there's still more pressure that could be applied, but given they found that opening pick and the success they had just holding the sites proper, could come down to timing. tabseN taking a lot of damage in at the ramp, and Crimbo is looking out for it. He'll find Alistair. So just as he starts this round off with an opener, it is at least exchanged back by Big.
It's a minute on the clock, and Alistair is over there in middle at that point. You can see what kind of game he's playing, but that game is dangerous, and you see exactly why. Not only do they lose the kill, they have to reinforce mid now. That's why Inns has started to move back there, but they've said, you know what, screw it. If they go mid, if they go B, that's your problem, Liaz, and unfortunately, it's about to be his problem. Or is it? Or is it at all? Crimbo, head's taken off, but Liaz good for one, not for two. You can't deal with a Crim.
Yeah, Crimbo just doing so much work, but Dexter has made his move in towards this B bomb site, tried to get a trade right back, but the bomb is on A instead. Vexite was here to reinforce, and they realized that they are on the wrong side of the map for it. They read that rotation as soon as Crimbo throws chaos into the comms of the Aussies. But Vexite, that's a great kill. tabseN and Crimbo are so damn low.
And they should have an idea that Crimbo would have had to come back and come through ramp. So this is effectively a 2 versus 1 twice over, but not if tabseN wins it. Vexite in pursuit, but tabseN hidden away. He will not take the peak. He will not do so. Not until he gets clear audibles. Not until he has clear information. The veterancy showcased. And they're trying to slip into Crimbo's domain where there has largely been one. There are now 3. A deep flash forward. JDC blind, but he's hidden away on the bookshelf before his teammate falls on the ramp itself. Vexite afraid, and he should be. Spots out too, and Liaz will not peek because of information given over. Vexite blocked off, but a flash is still here, and so is Inns. JDC hits the deck, and Big are losing numbers, they're losing time, and they're losing this round.
Such a perfect read called out by Dexter. The aggression that he showed over towards short, a smoke thrown by his teammate to enable it as well. As soon as he kills Rigon, the jig is up. Big know that they have to make their move either towards B or mid if that was where their presence was.
Where it did feel like they were limping forward to hope for the offensive side to be what carries them through, and it did. Let's not make any mistakes about it, but Alistair's demise could be the linchpin that allowed Big to come through on this round. Vexite hoping to reclaim an important man lost in shore. An opportunity is there, but tabseN will deny again. And guess what? They're not done. This A side is gone, and every single domino will fall.
An incredibly confident step and stride to Big in this round, facing the AWP of Alistair, and then Rigon just ripping heads. Liaz 1-on-5, but he does find 2 immediately. There are deep positions being held here by Big. It'll be very hard to read. A smoke and a kill available here for Liaz as well, but he needs to carve out a path to the site itself. And that smoke fades. Crimbo on the high ground, but not exposed. tabseN has it covered off, and it'll be searseN that finally punches in a second round out of the T-side overtime. Big move in with an advantage.
Now, the question is, where do these Molotovs go? If you find Rigon and take him down, if you do it so quickly, then Crimbo feels incredibly isolated, and that smoke will be used, it will be deployed, but so will the flash be. Crimbo's double will stay and stave FlyQuest off.
It's absolutely been long enough as well that Rigon could either be still stuck at quad, or he could have rotated back into the site. They would have known that he was there earlier on, but they definitely don't know about just how low these players are. A re-Molotov, that's how they re-clear it. And Rigon, yeah, just goes down to the flames as well. Didn't have the health to trade. JDC inside of the site, they'll know he's here given the flash assist. Vexite finds his kill in mid as well, so JDC's time could be limited if they're allowed to approach, but it's Searson that's found some kills back. But Dexter pushing the limits. The time was low. They needed those frags, but they get reads on both of the remaining big players, and they had that extra man to play with.
They had two pieces of utility right there. A Molotov and a flashbang, both used to perfection. The molly to take out the player they thought might already be low. Rigon hits the deck, and the flash delays JDC long enough that Dexter can scale onto the side, close the distance between both DeCastro and Searson. A quad kill from the IGL. How many times have Dexter... And those grenades are being sent.
Yeah, well, he may have been able to dodge the first, but doesn't anticipate the second. Searson still hanging around in short for his pick. But it'll be a swing and a miss, and the Molotov will do decent damage as he falls away. They're being loud about their approach on ramp.
If Big want to try and get information right now, they have to do it dry. tabseN has got 2 flashbangs across the rest of his team, but feels like neither one of them will really be used for anything but a retake. Dexter will be taken down. Fantastic kill as he's trying to find space and an off angle in Catwalk. But the A side will only have another T side body. Rigon will fade away before his can be added to the mix. Time is once again of the essence, and Searson has captured that very essence.
Yeah, just great shooting from Searson, and now tabseN as well will find Vexite. But that may lower their guard to this middle presence from Liaz. Problem is they've just lost too many members already. Liaz will get his one, and Rigon will plug up that gap. It is a map point achieved by Big.
Rigon. Oh my god, this has been the aggression they've been missing all along. This is why Alistair's been able to sit pretty so many times over, and if Rigon, this is the time for him to make a move. Alistair will be able to spot him out. This is why they couldn't get aggressive early. And where there could have been delight, instead there's dismay, as twice over, Big will falter.
tabseN still holding onto that mid control, and those 2 players his direction, they completely disregard him, but so does tabseN for a second. Liaz being able to play right next to his teammate, that trade was absolutely necessary, but it's Crimbo in defensive B, and this man was on a heater in the first map. Vexite does guarantee that trade, and the security of a plant as well. Searson was last spotted on this A bomb site. Liaz is trying to cut him off before he makes his move, but he's found his kill. One-on-one for Searson. And it's Vexite that takes an audacious post-plant position. It could go cleared. Searson goes out wide, and he tags out Vexite. This deagle in hand, but it is gonna be enough. Just like that, the star oper Searson steps up and delivers the goods for Big. We go all 3 in our grand final.
The conversation might have started with Alistair, but if Searson can end it like that, then that's exactly what you want. Back and forth, neck to neck, IGL and IGL, off, and Big might be celebrating, but right now they know there's still 1 to go. Dust2's been a home ground for them, but it's also where FlyQuest eliminated Saw before. Who's going to take it? Map number 3 awaits, and the questions will just keep on piling up.
Big versus FlyQuest here on Dust2, and Big will start on this T side, looking to take that space so rapidly, and already the bell of Alistair rung.
And maybe that bell's the call for ins, but he himself is having sound bites go off in his head. Big's off to a great start on a map that they pioneered, a map that they made look tactical when it was called merely a battle of the bronze. They brought some brains to the party, and ins right now is hoping to spill some of those very brains.
Postured up for an A-side split, and again, it's a lot of damage being exchanged, but it's this time Rigon that takes the brunt of it. Vexite getting some information on the short progression. They know what's coming, but Ins on his low health has still found one. He's finished off. There's approach from short. There's even team damage thrown in the mix, but they're finding the kills they need to. It dumps down to JDC, the man that got the most space on this A bomb site, cold to clutch. And Dexter on that low health, he'll still pull another head. It's a triple from the in-game leader.
And the request from JRT has been lodged and fulfilled. FlyQuest will get their first pistol round of this entire grand final.
Yeah, it's really been a long time coming. It's 3 SMGs for FlyQuest. Long-range duels is what Dust2 has become known for, but the AWP is out for Alistair, and he'll catch Searson just as they were assembling the boost.
He spotted them out, and he is quick to capitalize. Alistair is not quieting down in this grand finals. Deep flashbang forward. Dexter, a man who has been called to order many times over. Alistair might be taken down. He hasn't realized the Rigon is moving forward to Xbox, but now he's going to know the flash forward for Dexter to peek. But Dexter's not taking the push. Instead, Alistair himself is going for information. He knows there's another player nearby, and he's found him. Crimbo down, but Dexter's still waiting for the swing. And he's now going to crawl forward. Forget the swings. It's all about slow, steady, and smooth. That's what Dexter delivers.
Yeah, given the amount that Alistair was fighting, they may not have expected Dexter to be so close. Really nice and important shots being hit there from Alistair to get information on that package and extend the already man advantage situation they found themselves in. Good blow of the smoke, and a glimpse just offered up. JDC had to wait for it to rebuild. It's Rigon that's left in a 1-on-5, and he spotted a player trying to ascend up to short, and he will be run down. While they might have come in with SMGs, it's the rifles that really shine here for the Aussies.
Up above, Rigon's going to be turning the corner. Will he check this angle? The flash completely evaded. Dexter holds the trigger. He's held it all. Information galore. He knows there's more, but Thurston will break first blood. Alistair on the other side will still have a hope to go head-to-head with the German offer, but an incendiary will stop his ascent into the site. In goes Alistair! JDC is down! Thurston can only stand and watch. Blind him if you want, but Vexite's nearby. Alistair has company while Crimbo lurks up, but there's nothing to find. Vexite to be taken down. Alistair still fighting back. Will take Thurston out of the server. Toby can't help you here.
It's 2 1v1s. They're completely segmented. No one wants to give an inch and give that peek. Alistair cannot expose himself too far to those doors as well. Crimbo could still be walking down that A-side ramp. Inns has to help him out. Eliminate the possibility of him getting shot in the back, and he's trying to contain as best he can. But Crimbo, a flash, it doesn't make it to spawn. Inns has a fair duel, and Tabson starts his plant. It's Alistair that looks to keep him pinned in the site somehow. And Inns will look to see if he can catch him on the cross, but there is no attempt to make that venture if you're Tabson. An offering, a small slither around those doors. There's a kid available. Alistair trying to close that gap, and you'll find it with the P250. It is blinder after blinder from Alistair in defense of B, and when it comes to clutch, he's got it too. And right now, it's a bit of a dry spell for many of those names on Big.
Alistair, flashbang dodged. He just sees everything coming over his way. Now, he's taken a lot of damage and he's lost his teammate as well. This could be the big moment. Crimbo and JDC have effectively given them this round. Fantastic long take comes out late round. And although there were flashes being dodged, it's really the shots from Crimbo that make this one work. Very clear cut, hey, they're on 0 rounds, they need a round. It's also because throughout this entire game, there's also been a subtle push and pull between Dexter and Tabson about what these late round calls are going to look like. Who's going to be able to get a proper read? This has not just been the gun show, although we've seen definitely plenty of lock, stock, and barrels smoking out the day.
We knew it would sometimes come down to aim and form coming into this map. But Tabson, long spawn offered up, and Alistair is still able to best him.
Bring back Thurston.
Dexter, that's a great first face, but it's Vexite that steals the kills. 2 out from that back platform, but do they read Crimbo's close position? Alistair up close, unable to turn fast enough. It's not a relayed comm. Crimbo sowing some chaos into this round. Vexite, he could have been trapped at the back of the site, but he's transitioned, and Crimbo unable to get a handle on it. It's Searson on 22 health, but Vexite has already found 3, and why not add a 4th to that tally? He waits for Liaz. He doesn't have the ego to swing, but it is more than enough for another FlyQuest round.
Now he's coming into play in these late rounds, but maybe legging him early on through the door was enough. Unfortunately, the other side, Crimbo turns around and he accepts his fate.
Just once again, Alistair's not getting caught by these flashes. A great opening pick, but Tabson is answered back onto Dexter. Try to go for aggressive mid-control. Liaz does dispel of at least some forward pushing from JDC, and Alistair is struck in with another.
Inns dodging bullets right now, and he needs to. Alistair's around the corner. He'll be providing some support, but tabseN and Surson look to fight back. Surson needs this frag. Surson will be hunting for this exact pickoff, but the smoke out from the CTs is not really going to be helping. The bomb can be planted. Liaz reveals position, creates a threat. That means Surson has to turn away. But while tabseN locates Alistair, Surson's hoping to do the same. There's two players on the other side, so it feels like his death is guaranteed. But he had to take one with him for tabseN to have a chance. Now set up for an ace, but I say set up loosely. There's a flank on his side. It's Inns to put him to rest. It's 7 on the board for FlyQuest already. Big, do you really want to go out long again? Nades are peppering them up, and Inns is hoping to get a piece of the action that Alistair has been delivering consistently. This might be a step too far. The nade opens up the smoke, and Crimbo's waiting for it. Overextension is still something they have to be worried about. FlyQuest, the job is very much still not done, and Big have a small window of opportunity to bring things back over here. An incendiary goes deep from Dexter, and he's threading the needle in the smokes. He's threading Rigon's eyes open now as well. Normally you hope to close them, but wow, Rigon's moved timing. And at the same time, this B-side threat is really looming in. tabseN turns the corner, but Dexter turns him to mush. You still have to be worried about Vexite's full belt of utility. That's where the bomb is headed. And a re-smoke means that until 32 seconds, Big can't really even think about entering this site. Despite the ground that Rigon has gained, there's not actually any victims available on A, but pushing the smoke again, that's the call, and that's how they lost their first few players. Surson's watching out for it. Dexter's hoping that it's going to be a miss, but no. Now with the smoke in his hand, the smoke's dissipating. Dexter is down, but Vexite's still available. He's going to have his teammates falling. He won't have backup, but he'll get the kill. Nonetheless, Crimbo is there to respond, and Liaz alone versus 2, but it's only the one on the site. Pushes through the incendiary. He'll have the space to find the first, dodging the flashbang but not finding the head. An incendiary deployed to extend the deal. Still one more to go. Rigon is low around the corner. The defuse is stuck. Rigon is pushing. He gets it done. Big Clan barely taking it away.
And I thought Rigon was trapped. His position did not look great.
Is the call a B rush right now? It would be the right time for it. Dexter's the only one over here to provide any sort of backup, and he's missed the chance to throw a flash, now fully blinded himself, and Big will quickly swarm this site and pretty much guarantee their third.
Yeah, FlyQuest are going to instantly save off of that call. I mean, the timing just really going against FlyQuest there. A nade pulled on one of their players that should effectively be that first contact. You know, trying to line up a flash so we can maybe get a better position, but Big choose the perfect moment to burst into B. But it was a boost just to make sure that there was no lower pressure. Alistair is on short and ready to greet Rigon. Flash will be good. It will take him off the angle, but there are many places being perused, and it's a great flash timing there from Dexter. In's able to lap up a Crimbo creeping. And a quick flip from Alistair that will find no success, but there is no punishment for it.
Yeah, even the grenade has largely avoided the damage. He stutter steps a little bit more so that he still has most of his HP alive, and Big also still don't know that there's 2 USPs available on the other side, right? They have no idea that the only thing stopping them from taking over B is Vexite and his standard issue pistol. In the meanwhile, is being given another chance. tabseN, not only is he dead, he's also dropped the bomb. And while that's happened, Alistair's got another frag. FlyQuest haven't recovered any weapons. All of the bases of individual plays in a single flash out long. It feels like they've already taken this round. There's still hope, but that hope now rests on the shoulders of JDC.
And they should be able to squeak together another buy. It may not be everything that they could possibly desire, but they will try their hand at it. Searson out from long, and they were just hoping that they could pincer with just these 2 remaining players. JDC, just no time to make this work. Even if he does the damage, it's not like it's inconsequential for FlyQuest to lose these members.
They know that too, though.
And so that's why they allow JDC to hold on to this AK.
3 safe weapons going forward, and I mean, you asked about it, right? Is this where maybe we start seeing something other than Alistair? But they didn't really have a choice. Surson pulls out a flashbang at the worst possible time, exactly when he needed to punish, but at least he has teammates to do just that.
Yeah, much faster paced here from Big, already just to take that mid control and catching Alistair lingering a little too long. Flash dodge and actually catching JDC, so it doesn't give himself a fair duel.
Last time from Dexter, Raygon is just out in the open. Dexter's got 2, and as he's backing off, he won't be able to deploy the incendiary, but it's still a 3-on-3. Inns is here to recover the territory that Dexter felt like he'd lost, and as Inns will reveal that fact as well, he also has the incendiary, he also has the smoke to continue to delay this T side.
Yeah.
FlyQuest are very aware of it though. Vexite was watching out for that mid position before as well, but now with the time where it is, he doesn't really have a choice. Right, he has to just tunnel in, and he was hoping Liaz would be there on time to prevent that from happening, but Liaz was also worried about showing footsteps. Now, though, it's a 2-on-2. There's no offensive utility available for the CT side to retake, so it has to be just peeks. Maybe Inns can throw a flashbang, and that's what they are relying on. But JDC nearby is dodged the first one, not the second. He's gone, he's out. Surson's revealed position. And although he's been quiet so far, this is his opportunity to shine, an opportunity not taken. FlyQuest at 9 feel like they may have done it. Only another step to cross, but it'll have to be done in that second half.
And maybe they can put one together here on this T side too. Big currently playing very vacant towards A, and that's where FlyQuest are currently en route. But JDC, he'll catch Inns just as he attempts the cross, and they lose even more than that, just health as well as Liaz en route.
Bomb will at the very least be planted. Tapson's head will also be feeling a little bit light, and Vexite says, I might as well divorce you off it. Continues in underneath, but somehow Raygon even gets the frag. I have no idea how he gets the adjustment, but I have no idea how Alistair's going to fight back over here either. He sees the first, but he just can't take it down. Alistair struggling to keep up with the heads that keep popping up, but these moles will not be masked. Alistair.
It's a 10-second stick. They have no kids.
And he's got the chance to maybe jump up and interrupt, but not with the way the bomb was planted.
Yeah, I guess a little troubling perhaps for Big if they hadn't found those 2 kills on the cross, but by whittling down those numbers and recognition immediately that they went for just all armor, they were ready to fight.
If Big Clan want to make it work, this was what was needed. FlyQuest still at the very least do come in with a force spike courtesy of that bomb pod, and they've prioritized utility. This is what I like about it, right? They want to take those isolated fights that Dust 2 offers, and Alistair's the one to go out. No, keep your gun out, Alistair, and unfortunately, he can't even have his teammates out. Crimbo's the one taking him to dinner and making him look silly.
Oh, that's a great 4K there from Crimbo against the force buy. Like you said, a little misinput there from Alistair as he pulled out utility. May have lost focus on where his next fight was likely to be, but Crimbo's position inside of pit just so difficult to get past. Is the man who started with this series with a hot hand. That could be a driving force once again for them here on Dust 2. You just got into so many great positions, even on that T side, and Dexter can't do anything but hold up your head and hands and just think what you could have actually done in that position. Inns and Vexite, though, do actually find some kills. So they break into B on this low investment, and they'll get a plant for it.
They also have an MP9, and Vexite's pretty healthy. He's going to find another kill. Surson's down on the deck, and now Tabson's feeling a little bit scared. Great incendiary is going to push Vexite out of position, but remember, that's a CT side incendiary. He can wait and let his teammates double swing with him. That double swing will not matter. Crimbo will shut him down. So Big Clan will at the very least come out on top, but they lose a lot.
Yeah, another nervy anti-eco from Big Clan, isn't it?
Yeah, those creases on Crimbo's forehead aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe the timeout was enough to rewire a little bit of what was going on up in the head, because he will be necessary. The other side is not quieting down. Alistair's voice has been loud and proud. And now that he's located his next potential victim, a Molotov to try and whittle down Raygon, he'll live. But he will lose a lot of that life.
Really nice moves there from Rigon as well, waiting for the smoke and then able to escape the second Molotov as well.
Meanwhile, Tabson's taken down on long. In's the one to pressure through. The A side broke it up, but maybe Crimbo can stop them from CT. He's going to wait for the cross and hope to catch them on it. Remember, he's the one who got the kill through the smoke with the USP as well. It would be nice to see it happen twice over if you're a fan of the German side, but Crimbo instead plays it patient and locates Dexter.
That's incredibly dangerous. Planter on the side as well. HE landing right in his face. Back to a 3-on-3 where FlyQuest may have had those advantages.
Alistair is going to completely cordon off short, so Lias can tunnel vision down into CT, and he's found Thurston as well. Again and again, that head-to-head goes his way, and Lias is waiting. He knows what's coming his way. It's Crimbo offering himself up. FlyQuest may have let that become competitive, but they're the ones who benefit from that competition. Big lose everyone. And this entire tournament, Sursen's been giving interviews and talking about how, oh yeah, I stopped overthinking. I stopped thinking about X, Y, and Z and only thinking about what's in front of me. What's in front of you are some supercharged Australians. And they're really in front of you. A missed shot means that they have a chance to start scaling up. But Sursen's done the same to go back to the site and back to short.
He'll try and catch them on the transition to the bomb site itself, but it's actually caught by Dexter. A fantastic headshot. He delivers on two. The in-game leader stepping up. They breach this A bomb site, and while Rigon sits close by, JDC looks to join him. FlyQuest already at 10 ahead, offered up by that car, and JDC's found a double instantly. Rigon as well will make it 3. Alistair, he has been a hallmark for the success of FlyQuest at this tournament. But he needs to deliver in the clutch.
And he doesn't have the time to do it either, Michael.
And Big have separated. It'll be hard to read.
You'll at least get the bomb plant down. JDC doesn't want to peek out. He's incredibly low. JDC's position should be somewhat known to Alistair over here, but it will not matter. He had an idea that JDC could have been around on the bomb site. Even if not him, Rigon could have been the second man. But at the end of the day, it is John De Castro again to save Big Clan's hide. Double up now from Big Clan. They've decided that if FlyQuest are going to be getting aggressive, they're going to counter it out with the biggest stopping power you've ever seen. Maybe this way you can finally get some more kills. JDC will deliver where Sursen has been lacking, and that won't matter if he can get the win in the end. Who will return? It's Alistair to get the response. Brings it back to a 2-on-3, but Rigon is waiting behind the flames.
His position is so damn good. It will not be cleared. It will not be looked for. And his head has been taken off. Alistair has to nail Rigon, but he just cannot hit the shot.
He will be the one prioritized for it. Sursen's also getting involved now. The long range is no longer dominated only by the Australians. It is both Sursen and JDC coming into play, and a half buy from FlyQuest will give them nothing.
JDC does hold that cross with the ult, but he misses. He's not actually going to take that shot, just catching a glimpse, so they know that that plan has come through for FlyQuest. But where is Vexite? Is he still lingering around, or did he provide some support? He knows that all of them are rotating through CT, but Alistair only has a Glock to defend with. Up close, he'll hit the shot, he'll hit the burst. Vexite finishing the job, but Crimbo able to cover their flank.
There's 3 players lining up for him. JDC could be asking for a lot. Vexite and Dexter will fall, and Inns is soon to follow. FlyQuest setup will come to shreds, and now they'll have to pick up the pieces with time ticking down. Tabson waiting around the corner, and an incendiary to force him away, and he will fall to that very Molotov. Alistair now finds a second. They're getting stuck in their scaling though, and there's an op in hot pursuit. Sursen doesn't reveal, Crimbo does, and Sursen will be the first one to be peeked. Shows himself off. Alistair's got info, but he needs an ace. He repositions. He's dodged out Crimbo's crosshair. Sursen needs to be the one to push forward. They both have kits, and they're hoping that Alistair will be the one to make a mistake, and sure, he might still be. Worried about both. He's choosing between options. And he might be spoiled for choice, but he doesn't want to be spoiled on the server. One away, Crimbo nearby, closing the distance, a no-scope and an ace to break the drought. They still stand tall.
A 2-on-4, or 2-on-5 sorry. They found 3 uncontested kills, but they get up short.
Hi guys, subscribe to ESL YouTube. That's a big brain move. So make sure to subscribe and become a better player. Your turn.
Make sure to not miss the upshot and press the mouse one button on the subscribe button.
Headshot, subscribe.
There's util being deployed on either side. He's going to catch them out no matter where he goes, and he clears out B. Is that the call for Dexter to push back and refrag? It might be. JDC around the corner. Now he's the one with a smoke in his hand. He's the one with his gun away.
And the question will be, was that the right choice for JDC to make? There was a lot of noise in through mid as well. They could have disrupted entirely. Time is low here, though, for FlyQuest. 30 seconds and they start to make their move. A smoke that lands towards the A side, but they're still not making their steps just yet. This will be hard to decide. Crimbo, his position is pivotal. When time is low, Goose is hard to clear, and Searson will hit his shot just as they attempt to cross. They get tagged, and Crimbo, while he gets his one, it doesn't stop this plant from coming in.
Always a man disadvantage is always the reclamation. Dexter again with a nade to weaken. Rigon's not feeling it. He's not got a gun. He's not got a chance. And Searson alone, praised by many as we headed into Atlanta, called upon for the man who has improved drastically. The man who since the player break has been completely different. But right now, I don't know what he can do. I don't know what he has done.
FlyQuest, a very cautious approach.
Oh. Rare miss, but so much information about the rotation back to A. FlyQuest will want to recede. Big Clan know that they now have to make a move. Searson's the one to do it. Gets a tag, but not the bag. Dexter's still alive. He will not be for long.
But it's 4 towards long. They wanted to just brute force it and hope that FlyQuest were there, greeted. Instead, it's Rigon that will be pressured. One man to stop them into B, but Liaz guns him down. It's back to 4-on-4, and Crimbo tagged on the cross. Alistair will not stick around to find out just how many swarm him. They don't have util. They will have no kits. Searson, another tag, but it will not be a kill. How can they break it? How can they get back in? Tabston, he just dives straight in. Alistair and Vexite, they hold the line, and just jumping through smokes, it's JDC. He might be great, but this is far too much. FlyQuest have done it. They have gone to Atlanta. They have trust many a sea just to lift a damn trophy. This team has improved tenfold. Dexter definitely had a lot on his plate, a lot of expectations that may have been missed initially, but man, this team is looking lethal.
And now for Dexter, now for the boys, it's not a plate, it's a trophy!
Give them a moment.